Chelsea Football Club are in a tug of war for Liam Delap, but the reality is the price that they are asking for is absolutely a steal, and Manchester United are trying to get the inner lane. I'm going to tell you what the price is, why Chelsea should consider the deal, the positives of it, but there's one outstanding negative that nobody wants to actually own up for, and I'm here to tell you. Furthermore, Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo for some reason were trending last night. For some reason, Chelsea aren't in the Champions League, but Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez were the topic of conversation because a certain somebody scored 2 free kicks. We're going to talk about that. And finally, Chelsea versus Legia Warsaw is a Conference League classic. We're basically in this UCL, but not the UEFA Champions League, more like the UEFA Conference League. So Chelsea Football Club are in a quarter-final of a European competition, and I have to talk about it. And we will preview the game, and I'm going to give you the lineup that I believe Enzo Maresca should pick. But the reality is, now that you're in it, you gotta win it. Let's get it started. However, before we get started, number one, hit that like button. 1,000 likes go a long way. It's the best way you can support the channel if you're consistently watching. And finally, we are 240 people away from 40,000. So if you are here right now, you made it this far in 2025. For me to keep your attention span for this long, clearly enjoying what you see. So subscribe ahead, because you will be back for more. Let's keep him stepping. Liam Delap is a very interesting individual. Why? Because Liam Delap's first initial loan didn't go really well. He came out the Manchester City Academy, had a lot of hype around him, has went to Ipswich, and what he has done at Ipswich is actually very impressive if you think about it logically, right? 12 goals in 30 games for a team that is fighting for relegation. The pressure's lower, agreed. However, the chances are more sparse, a lot more space in behind, but your team does a lot more defending, so when they receive the ball, everything's into the channels, and you need to hustle and bustle and get. What has happened this summer? Well, is going to happen this summer. Manchester United and Chelsea are in pole position to sign the player, according to Fabrizio Romano, who got his information from The Guardian. Furthermore, Manchester City have a buyback clause that enables them to get him back for 20% cheaper than the release clause. And the final thing that you need to know is Liverpool is interested. Now, what is the fee? Well, we were led to believe that the fee is 40 million. Now it's coming out that the fee is somewhere near 30 million. And then you ask yourself the question, right? Is this a deal Chelsea can't refuse? Is this a deal that I'm bringing you to the table, right? That you can't say no to? Because Liam Delap at 30 million, English, 22 years old, number one fits the homegrown status. He's a prolific goal scorer this year in the league that not many players have got into double figures. And I don't even think he takes penalties if I'm not mistaken. And finally, there's always resale value because he's English. But I want to talk about the upside of him, right? Because what I want to understand is Chelsea's logic in trying to get the player. And then the final conclusion I'll give you is my opinion. Right, the upside is obvious. He is £30 million for Harry Kane-like. He is baby Harry Kane. In the way he strikes the ball, in the way he moves, in the way he occupies defenders. £30 million is a risk that Chelsea, the whole model is predicated on this system, right? You get players that bargains, they develop, you get him on low wages, and next thing you know, he blossoms somewhere else. Or he blossoms at your club. That makes sense. The next thing is, he's a different option to a Nicholas Jackson. What do Chelsea at the moment have? Chelsea at the moment have Nicholas Jackson, very good link-up play, does all the jinky stuff, can be a man off the dribble, can play off the wing if he needed to, but very good target man, but really struggles with his finishing. Well, Delap's different. He won't be taking the ball down and beating a man off the dribble. He will be battering past them. He'll be having beautiful shots, ball striking, and more importantly, he's more of a natural finisher. He is the old school type of striker. Yo, listen, I'm not exaggerating when I say he reminds me of an Alan Shearer, Harry Kane profile. Very, very good. And even then, sometimes you watch him and you can see that this guy's got ability on the ball as well. He's not just a battering ram. So I understand the appeal of this guy. I understand the idea of this guy. The final thing that I think is really open is it leaves your options open. And Chelsea, I think, are taking this into account. For example, if we make the Champions League and we have Liam Delap, what does this mean? It means next year we've got Nicholas Jackson and we've got Liam Delap. 2 players. The year after, in the summer, someone massive with a reputation, goal scoring prowess says, I want to come to Chelsea. Chelsea can easily sell either Jackson or Delap. There'll be suitors to take them, and bring in somebody who will be a guaranteed starter straight away for 60, 65 million. Maybe not the 100 million mark. Maybe we're out of that business because we're not paying those sort of wages anymore. However, it also opens your mind, right, to the fact that this might not be the end. This might just be a stopgap. But this is the problem, right? And this is where my opinion comes in. Whilst I agree with 80% of everything I've said from Chelsea's perspective, my perspective is, I feel underwhelmed. I feel very, very out of touch with this signing. Why? I think the player's great. I think the player has got bags of potential. I think the player is very impressive in everything he does, right? At this stage, 22 years old, 12 goals in 30 games in the Premier League. He is great ball striking. Absolutely puts Jackson to shame. Problem is, he's 22 years old, hasn't played much football at the competitive end of the higher end of the Premier League, and I don't know how he's going to cope under the pressure. Furthermore, and this is the biggest one of all, kind of wanted someone that I've seen do something for 3-4 years and has competed for at the bare minimum and led a team to top 4. Problem is, I wanted this app. I wanted the Victor Osimhen, maybe a Gyökeres. You know what I mean? But I feel like we are in the market for Sesko, an Ekitike, a Liam Delap. Liam Delap is the one that I think we are going to get. Whether I like it or not, something we need to accept. The price will be great. The problem is we're not accountants. We shouldn't care about the price. What we should care about is the quality of the player. And in the comments below, let me know, do you believe that the quality of the player is to the standard of what we will be expecting hopefully next year? Champions League football at bare minimum, deep runs in the Champions League, because we are going to make the Champions League, and potentially laying the foundations for a decent title charge in March. Let me know. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, when I tell you live in people's heads rent-free, I'm not exaggerating. Not only Chelsea fans adore them, not only Chelsea fans are polarized by them, Arsenal fans absolutely use every opportunity to talk about them, whether it's in a positive light or whether it's in a negative light. So yesterday, Arsenal did something very impressive, right? Madrid came to the Emirates and they absolutely had a 25-minute spell, maybe half an hour spell, where they torched them. They absolutely killed the tie, and they did something that a lot of people didn't expect was going to happen. And this is the beauty of the Champions League, right? Because for 45 minutes, I thought it was an even game. And this is where the narrative, right, runs away with results-based analysis. For 45 minutes, I thought it was an even game. Mbappe had a good chance. Mbappe was marginally offside for another chance. Vinny, if he learned to pass the ball with his left foot rather than a Trivela, could have played Mbappe through one-on-one. Vinny had a good chance. That's 4 chances. Yes, Arsenal also had chances. That's why I said it was an even game. But then Declan Rice stepped up. First of all, 2 of the best free kicks I've seen in a long while. The first one, the analysis from Clarence Seedorf and Cesc Fabregas was amazing. You know, sometimes I sit here and I say the mainstream doesn't give you the quality of analysis that you see on YouTube. It's people like, for example, myself, Matisse, Eunice, in the Chelsea community will tell you more, right? Nini will tell you more about Chelsea in detail than some of the mainstream pundits. But yesterday, when I was watching the Amazon broadcast, Amazon Prime one, Seedorf and Cesc, right? I have never played in goal in my life. At any level, I've never played in goal. So for me, I don't know the basics of being a goalkeeper. And when I talk about being a goalkeeper, I'm talking about just pure theory. Do you know what I mean? But they were giving us analysis. They said, look, the first free kick is amazing. However, the wall's in the wrong place. There needs to be a 5th person. It needs to be a bit more to the left. And Courtois made the mistake. And that is you teaching me something I don't know. So I love that. The second one, they just said it, moment of brilliance, confidence, right? However, Rice gets those free kicks, and what has happened after that? Enzo Fernandez could never score a free kick like that. Well, that's not true. We've seen it against Aston Villa, against Emi Martinez, great goalkeeper, in the FA Cup. So you're chatting waffle. Oh, Moises Caicedo can't do anything in the midfield against Declan Rice. Listen, are we really going to do this? 2 free kicks can't change the narrative on a player. Is Declan Rice a good player? Declan Rice is a very, very good player. Runs around, gets stuck in, very good ball striker, brilliant set pieces. But James Ward-Prowse can take a great free kick. Do you know what I mean? So we're not going to evaluate a whole player's ability based on taking a great free kick. I will give him his respects. He's a very good number 8. I just want to see what happens next season when Thomas Partey's out of a contract and Rice has to move back to that 6. What, you're going to acquire Zubimendi and Rice is going to become a full-time 8? Look, Arsenal's problems are never these big games because they're physically imposing. They'll give anybody a game. Arsenal's problems are, and there always will be, when teams sit back and there's a low block, similar to Chelsea. The problem here is, and people don't want to accept it, and this is the fact of the matter, whenever they play well, Declan Rice and Arsenal, they want to talk about us. Why? Why do we live rent-free in your head? It's because you like our players. When you consistently sit there every single time bringing up other people, it's because you're either A, insecure about them, or B, you view them as the standard. And the reality is they view Caicedo and Enzo as the standard. Chelsea have been good this year, and primarily it's because of those two. And when Chelsea make top 4 this year, those two will get their flowers. And when they're in the Champions League in that slower game, we are going to see the best out of them. Trust me with this one. We are going to win a major trophy before Arsenal. Clip me on this. I promise you this. Chelsea Football Club are playing Legia Warsaw. So a lot of you want the previews. I find the previews difficult to do. And the reason why I find it difficult to do is because how much can I give you in terms of analysis of a preview for a game when there's just so much content out there? I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to regurgitate. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you what I think Chelsea should start, why Chelsea should start it. And then in the comments below, you're going to tell me if you like this level of analysis or if there's any recommendation of what else you want me to do. So in goal, I think Jurgensen will start. Jurgensen is our second choice goalkeeper. Right back, I'm starting Josh Achempong. And a lot of people can say, why are you starting Josh Achempong? Listen, we need to play Josh Achempong and rest Reece James. Reece James needs to be ready for the Ipswich game. That is primarily my biggest worry tomorrow, and then rotate for Ipswich. Under no circumstances does that need to happen. For me, Josh Achempong needs to be at right back. Centre backs, I'm going for Toussaint and I'm going for a Levi Cole. They're the two that I would go for, purely based on the fact, or maybe a Badiashile and a Levi Colwell. Maybe, yeah, Badiashile, Levi Cole. Because I thought Toussaint and Chalobah were very good. They kept a clean sheet. On what grounds are you going to drop one of them? Then, left back. This is where the problems arise. And people don't want to talk about this. I'm playing Malo Gusto left back. I really am. And people will say, why are you playing Malo Gusto? I'm playing Malo Gusto left back because we have no other choice. Ishe Samuel Smith can't play there. We've got nobody else. Renato Vega's on loan. Who are you going to play? Genuinely, who are you going to play? Midfield, I'm going KDH. And personally, dead serious, I'd go Mugu. I genuinely would go Mugu. I'll dash him in and I'll take the chance. A lot of you are going to say, what are you doing? This is a bit too experimental. It's the final stages of the Conference League. I kind of feel like we can't keep running Enzo and Caicedo out there and expect them to play. I think it causes too many problems. I really do. They're going to get injured. I'm really scared about that. In the front four, I'm going to go Noni Madueke on the right. Give him some more minutes in the legs. Build him up. On the left-hand side, I'm going Tariq George. George has to play. And in the number 9 role, I'm giving Jackson another 45 minutes to start. And in the number 10, I think we are almost trapped into a situation where Cole Palmer's going to play. Because we don't have any other options. Who are you going to play? Genuinely. So it's one of those things. I'm really nervous about what's going to happen in terms of rotation, not the game. I think we should go to Poland and win. I would love it if we go there and absolutely hammer them, so the next game we can play Shimbaheka and everyone. But it is what it is. Listen, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Liam Delap, sign move or not? Peace out, I'm out. Have a lovely day.